through by 6 legs to 4, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this game because this is, for
59.
me, probably the season highlight for Jake Jones of Stoke-on-Trent. I'm a big fan of the label on the back of his shirt. He's thought this one out. It looks good. It looks like an anchor, but it's back-to-back J's.
Okay.
But this year so far, he hasn't won a great deal of games. He's made one last 16. But aside from that run in a Players' Championship, he's only won 2 more games. What does that say about his season?
Very, very indifferent. From what you've been telling me, Paul, that
140.
you're actually very excited about this Florian Hempel. We haven't seen a great deal of him before, but by all accounts, he's an outstanding dart player.
140.
Yeah, just have a look at this action here. I promise you, because of his former vocation as a handball player, that if that dartboard wasn't there, these things would travel quite a big distance.
109.
Jake Jones has been playing darts for a long, long time. He looks at double 16.
77.
Misses out on taking that first leg in 15 darts. 19's the effort for the 146. Only comes up with 3 singles. So Jake, that's what he craved, which is 3 more at 32. And takes the first leg and he settles in very nicely with the 16 darter there.
Nice little steady first leg, Paul. Making his debut here, Jake Jones. So if there was any little bits of nerves before this match, that'll calm him down a lot. Like we've said before, and that was only a holder throw, but when you're playing for the first leg and you have got the throw, the one thing you want to do to settle yourself down is win that
140.
leg.
It's a pretty good first leg. You get yourself to a double after 14 darts, you take it in 16, you can settle into it. But when we look at the stats for the season, we look at previous performances, they can give us a guide as to where the form might be. But darts has been said to be on the day, and of course this could be
58.
Jake's day instead of Florian's. Florian has played at the European Tour before on 2 occasions and has registered a victory. And what a victory it was, because back at the Dutch Masters in Zwolle 2 years ago, we knew nothing about Florian Hempel. We just knew of him. But when he played Ryan Harrington and won by 6 legs to 0, we knew a little bit more about this guy. And then after that, when he played against Simon Whitlock in round 2, he gave him a mighty scare. That's why we rate him.
Well, we should certainly look forward to seeing a lot more of him. There's something about Paul, isn't there, that people that come from ball sports tend to be very good at a game of darts. There's a certain other player that's been quite good at that.
Yeah. That is a 74 checkered for Hempel. He does get the 15 darter. Jousting very, very evenly in the first 2 legs. I'm sure you were just talking about John Bowles.
58.
I think you know better than that.
I think we were talking about Getaway Price, of course. But Hempel, of course, made the final of the German Super League, which was in qualification for the World Championship. He didn't get that because he was unable to hit his match dart and eventually lost out to Martin Schindler. But
92.
how did he respond? He went to Q School, got himself a card. And then there was a lot made of the fact that we didn't see him until Niedenhausen in April. But
100.
I'm sure he's got a very busy life, and when he has turned up, he's done pretty well. But this is the infancy of his pro career.
123.
He's got 2 years. He's got 2 years to make his mark. And by what I'm seeing so far, he looks quite an accomplished player. Looks like he knows his way around the board. And by that, Paul, I mean, he knows the shots, he knows where he wants to go, he knows where he wants to be. There's no stop starting to try and work things out. He's just got that nice
97
fluidity about him. Yeah.
There's a real competence about the way he throws these darts. Yes, there's a bit of a stutter before he throws every dart, but he's
56.
almost
Jake,
calibrating
you
on the
require
fly.
130.
He's giving himself an outside chance if Jake Jones misses this, which is the easier of the two outs. Ooh, that was a powerful shot. Just came up
58.
short, so Hempel does get a shot at 160 for a second consecutive 15-darter.
Just about to say what a shot this will be.
63.
Such a thump when
Jake,
his darts hit the
requires
board.
72.
I know there's a microphone behind it, but it's just something about the way his darts hit the board. That leaves 65.
I think he might have miscounted there, Paul, to tell you the truth.
32.
I was looking at the numbers there, like, as if to think I was miscounting there. What a chance this is for Hempel now. Went for the treble 14 for double 18. And in that spot, I don't mind that,
Jake, you require
because he
40.
probably thinks he's only got that one chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Game shot the third leg. Jake Jones.
A little bit of spirit there from JJ.
For first, game on.
That's what we get from the Stokies. And we do have another Stokey coming tonight in the shape of Adrian Lewis, and he plays Bradley Brooks in one of the headline matches for this evening's session.
There's been quite a few decent players come out of Stoke.
Yeah, there's been a few. Which game has really piqued your interest for tonight?
I'm actually looking forward to the former two-time champion Adrian Lewis playing the young gun of Bradley Brooks. You know, Bradley Brooks is a very keen young player.
77.
Starting to make a name for himself now. Don't really think he fears anyone, nor does anyone anymore, Paul. They just go out, they show respect, but they just want to go up there.
139.
And he wants to have a taste of what Adrian's had before. Be looking forward as well to seeing my old mate Stevie beaten against John Michael. That's quite a tough opener for Steve, I think.
100.
Yeah, John Michael is not an easy customer to get over, but the interesting thing about that Adrian Lewis game with Bradley Brooks is that, of course, Jake is from the same town as Adrian Lewis.
128.
But who is Jake Jones's best pal on tour? Bradley Brooks.
Ah.
They're inseparable. Well, Jake Jones is looking to separate himself from Florian Hempel here.
Jake, you require
He's got
134.
134. Seems to be just half a dart ahead most of the time.
Yeah, he's if he can just set this up comfortably, Paul.
58. Florian, you require 170.
76 is not a gimme, but if Florian can put a bit of pressure on this shot, maybe if it's a 134, he needs a red bit now, really.
58.
He might have just
Jake,
got
you
away with
require
that, Jake.
76.
But I mean, if he can get a break here, he'll be in total control of the match.
Single 16 for tops. Has to move because that dart has gone in so upright.
56.
Look at those. Rod
Florian, you
Harrington-esque.
require 112.
I was just about to say, they really stick up. This'll hurt, Paul. This'll hurt. Double 16 for a 1-1-2.
96.
Big chance
Jake,
missed
you require
from Florian
20.
Hempel. Jones straight down the line. Now back up top for double 5.
Game shot the
Hugely
fourth leg.
impressive
Jake Jones.
on the doubles in this match, Jake Jones, and he's at the halfway point
Fifth leg
first.
straight to the first. Game on.
He is someone who doesn't shy away from showing how he feels, and I like that in a player because when he was a youth player playing for England
59.
alongside some great talents like Ricky Evans, I think there was a lot made of what Jake would do in his career, and he almost disappeared from everybody's sights and then re-established himself by getting through Q School himself this year.
Yeah.
But it hasn't gone ideally in 2021, but like you said, Lloydie, he's got 2 years to get it right.
That's it, yeah.
139.
You don't. The first 6 months, Paul, I think, of having a tour card or being on tour, competing against the established
100.
players, it's tough. But you know, you just got to try not to put the pressure on yourself. Just go up there, try and do what you know you can do. Keep a level head. The
99.
results will come. They will come. But it's just a matter of there's that settling down period. And Jake's making his debut here, like we said, and he looks like he's settling down quite nicely.
100.
He hasn't won a competitive match, well, in a ranking match, since the 7th of July against Steve West, which he won 6 legs to 3. Since then, he's lost 5 ranking matches. But
100.
listen to these names: Kevin Dirts, which we rate massively, great young talent. Devin Peterson, Max Hopp, Vincent van der Voort, and Martijn Kleermaker. Now, you might have thought I was going to wrap up loads of massive names, but the draws that he's had haven't been that bad. But they're classified as better draws.
86.
Yeah.
Jake Jones misses double 18 for 4-1. Florian will be hoping for 61 here. Or 52 more.
I'm not a lover of that shot. I prefer the 45 for 61. For sure, what do I know?
They always do that, Lodi. They always do it. I'll tell you what, he was shaking his head before he went for that 32.
Yeah. I think he was disgusted with himself, Paul, because the dart for the 25 was absolutely no way near. So I think that's what he was disappointed with himself at. And he sort of like he threw the big 20 in disgust. And like you said, he stepped back shaking his head. But as he was stepping back shaking his head, you know he's getting himself right in his head thinking, well, I love 32. That's why I've left it. Bang, and he cleans it up.
Well, he's left it twice now, so we would assume that he's a lover of 32 as opposed to some other parts of the board that he could have left. But an interesting dynamic that I saw from Jake Jones just now is that he was looking over his left shoulder, which is where the VIP area is. It's that kind of area. As we get Hempel for the max. But when dart players need help, they only look in two directions. They look up, because that's what humans do when they need help.
Yep.
It's just a thing. Secondly, dart players look to their left. They look to the VIP area, and if you haven't got anybody there, it's a pretty lonely place.
139.
Yeah. To be fair, but I never looked to the left, ever. I used to look at my feet.
That's because you didn't need help.
Listen, there was many a times I needed help, mate. Don't worry about that. Many a times. But I used to look up, or I used to look at my feet.
What do you think about that route for 1-2-2? 25 is 97, treble 19 for tops. It's becoming more popular over the last couple of years.
I shall answer that by saying you go the way you feel comfortable.
Well, it's not double 16, it's double 18 for Hempel to draw level. Hang about.
18.
Chance Jake Jones to break the throw and re-establish that two-leg gap. He will react if he hits this, but he's not going to. Now what do you do? Do you
well,
for it?
I think you've got to, Paul. You've got to go for it. You've left it, so you've got to go for it. All-out attack with the first dart. That's a good marker, to be fair. That's even better. Now all you want to do is not snatch it, let the arm go straight through and slide down the barrel. Like that.
What a great dart that is from Hempel. We are level after 6. The early exchanges promised much for the rest of this match. And I fancy it might just go all the way. But in order for us to do that, Jake Jones has got to maintain some level of confidence. Look at that, really level. They've never played each other before, so we didn't have a great deal to go on when it comes to their head-to-head record. But it's been a while since we've seen Hempel up there, so it'll probably feel like a debut.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing with Jake there. When he throws that first dart, if he goes just underneath, Paul, we've been saying that his dart will kick up. He's covered the treble 20 straight away, you know. I think he's just got to try and put... I'm not a technical sort of person, Paul, when it comes to dart, but he's just got to put that little bit more venom in it to get the dart. He's done it again. That's 2 shots on the trot, you know. He's got to put it just above the 20. I know he's possibly trying to do that, but, you know, that's when frustration, Paul, can start kicking in, because you're thinking, why is it not going in? And then you have to keep switching. And the one thing you don't want to do is keep switching.
Now that first dart is a huge thing for Jake. Look at that upright angle that he gets there. You can see how upright it is compared to Florian's dart. And that adjustment from Jake Jones, I applaud it. Wonderfully done with only half a bed to aim at.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Needs 2 more treble 20s and tops to get the lead back.
60.
Just get the feeling that the biggest moment of this match has not been seen yet. Now what do you do? 2 treble 18s as an option.
Well, I'd go 18s, Paul.
94. Florian, you require
3 open beds.
164.
Yeah,
I suppose
true.
there's some
Yeah.
logic in that.
Yeah.
Florian going for the treble 19 route on 164.
89.
Does get the
Jake, you
bullseye to
require
get himself
66.
in range. The same sort of range that JJ is already in. Double 18.
Game
Oh,
shot
that was
seventh
pretty.
leg.
That
Jake
was
Jones.
very pretty.
8th leg Florian
Two
to
very
Game
confident,
on.
comfortable, well thrown darts there.
I saw Jake Jones a little bit later on yesterday and acknowledged him and said,
140.
"Hey Jake." And he just went, "Hello matey," in his accent, because I can't do a Stoke accent. And I swore that if I closed my eyes, it was going to be Adrian Lewis. They had exactly the same voice. That is a compliment, Jake, because if you watch this back, that is definitely a compliment. But as far as getting here, I was very impressed with Jake Jones because he beat the very dangerous Jason Lowe 6 legs to 4 in his first game with a 90 average, but it was the game after that that impressed me more.
61.
Darius Labanauskas, just shy of 100 average. And
Wow.
that is probably his best performance of the entire season.
Yeah. Darius is certainly no pushover.
140.
So he's earned his place here. We know that he's certainly earned his debut.
Well, as for Florian,
56.
he was very impressive in dispatching Gary Blades with a 98 average, 6 legs to 3, and then took care of Glenn Durrant in the qualifiers by 6 legs to 1 with a 95 average.
100.
Just an indication of how well Florian has been playing well this year, because he's averaged 93 for the entire season.
100.
This
Florian, you
performance is a good
require
5%
76.
under that.
I'm sure he won't mind, Paul, if he gets a W. At the end
Game
of this
shot
match.
8th leg.
Good solid
Florian
76
Hempel.
finish
Nice leg
there.
Jake to play first.
Nice little 15 darter, the hold throw. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Real nitty gritty.
I've got to ask you about that 76 because there is, of course, some added risk on that second dart, because if you do drag it slightly low, you can bust the shot. But is it just about concentrating the size of the dartboard and going 2 singles for double 18? Is the switch for a right-hander from the 20 to the double 18 more natural?
Me personally, why take the unnecessary risk? That could have cost him that leg if it had gone wrong. So try and take out. Me personally, Paul, just take out the risk.
Hang on. Ja! Alles gut!
Ja, ja, ja!
9 data, bitte. Florian Hempel looking to get a 9 on the European Tour. Possibly. No shot. He didn't look nervous either.
No,
He looked very, very ready for that.
just got on with it. Fair play.
Look at the reaction. As soon as the attempt is over, game face.
Yeah.
I love that.
96.
Yeah. There was a little
Florian
smile.
require 52.
I'll give you some advice. Don't miss this, because Jake Jones is just behind you. Oh, and that is a great 12 darter from Florian Hempel to go 5-4 up, and that is why that leg right there tells everybody why we rate him so highly.
Yeah, very much so. He applied the pressure.
10th leg,
Two
Florian
180s,
to
nice
first.
little 12 darter,
Game on.
break a throw. What he would give now, Paul, to kick off with another 180.
Hey, you'll take another 12.
Well, yeah.
12 darter forces Jake Jones to hit a 9 to stay in the match.
100.
And he is getting those darts so tightly knitted together now. And the person waiting, I say this with a bit of a pause because
96.
some of our organisers have been interviewed this afternoon asking about who do the Hungarian fans like most. Well, apparently they like Peter Wright the most. He's the 3rd seed and he is in waiting
100.
for the winner of this one.
Ah, nice. Nice.
Back comes JJ. Superb.
108.
He's not going to go away.
He certainly isn't. That is his first maximum of the match. Florian's got 3.
97.
The stats tell a story that Florian's scoring has been better than Jake's, and maybe that's why he is ahead marginally. 105.9 in the first 9 for Florian, and only 94 for Jake. Maybe swollen
61.
a little bit by those two 180s in the last leg.
Yeah.
Still in control, and if he gets a 4th maximum,
this will really hurt.
121.
Horrible little deflection there. He's left himself 83. Bit of pressure on this shot. See what damage he can do to put the pressure on the shot.
64.
Not really enough, really, Paul.
83.
Result 17. Is it one shot at the ball? No, it's double 9 again.
74.
This time he's low on it. And Jake Jones,
100.
with the way his darts sit in the board, this could be tricky. He's going to go 16s. I think that was the right play, because he couldn't see 52. Much of that tops bed.
But he couldn't see the treble 20 and he couldn't see the tops.
Florian, you require 9.
The open bed is there, so go for the open bed.
Absolutely. And double 4 is open for business. He's had 1 match dart already at double 9. Double 2.
7.
He's missed 3 darts to win this game. And JJ is still alive, and if he can find this, we're level. And he would have the darts in the last leg.
Oh, what a beautiful dart that was, Paul. We're going all... I think this game deserves to go all the way, actually.
I think Florian would disagree.
Yeah.
He, right now, looks a little bit crestfallen, and maybe he's just having a bit of a flashback to that German Super League final where he was in position to win it, and he let it slip. So he's going to have to dig really, really deep here into that pocket full of confidence and belief. What a start from Jake Jones. We've already talked today, Lloydie, about last leg deciders and how much you crave a 2 or 3 treble visit to start it.
Yeah, very much so. Jake will be thinking here, please don't hit a treble. And Florian hasn't, so he's taken complete control of the leg already. And that's a great marker for him, Paul, but that one's pulled it down a bit. But
59.
A trebleless visit, but he's still in control of the leg. He's still a ton 40 in front.
Florian is letting it slip, but that's a great adjustment.
85.
I don't think that's enough right now. JJ's got a bit of a decision to make here. He doesn't have to go the 18s route here from this position. I think that's why he went 20s first.
96.
And if Jake Jones wins this game, it will ensure that he is on his biggest payday of the entire season to date. However,
140.
he's got company.
Yeah. Florian's still got other ideas, methinks.
I think he's thinking 180 till he's double 18. That's what every dart player thinks on 216. And I've got Lloydie next to me smiling because he's a dart player, I'm a dart player. We all think the same thing.
Oh, he's got to think about this now, Paul.
This is tricky because he's left 191 and 25 does not get him out of jail. Massive.
82.
Massive trouble.
Jake, you require 164.
Still a very tricky out 134. But at least he's going to get a look at it.
89.
Where would you go here?
Florian, you require 134.
I'd go treble 18 first dart. If I hit it, tops. That's just my way.
The 251s would have left double 16. That was the route.
56.
With Jake Jones,
Jake, you require
you've seen
75.
match darts in this match, but against you. Can you take the one that you have?
35.
Oh, that was close. With the way his darts sit, that just needed to drop 1 more millimetre. Hempel has had multiple match darts. He gets 1 more.
38.
Just too much. Gave it too much juice.
Jake, you require
So they
40.
both had a shot at tops to win this match in the last leg. Double 10. Oh, that's a horror. Has to go around the corner.
20.
Well, we got the last leg decider,
Require 40.
and we've had drama in it. Hempel back for tops. Can he finish the job? Yes, he can. And Hempel does win by 6 legs to 5. Jake Jones very much crestfallen now. He saw that from Florian when he did not win by 6 legs to 4. A brilliant game to start our evening. An 89 average for Florian Hempel, 85.98 for Jake Jones. He'll have to leave the stage and leave the tournament. But tomorrow it will be Hempel versus Snakebite here in front of about 2,500 fans. We've got more coming your way. It's going to be an interesting night. Ross Smith takes the stage. Smudger, a winner this year, takes on a home nation qualifier in Peter Sturvik. Let's grab a word with Philip Brzezinski, our German MC.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a thriller to kick off this evening's session. A big round of applause to Jake Jones. And into the second round, it is Florian Hempel. Florian, I mean, what a roller coaster match that was. 3-1 down, 5-4 up. In the end, match starts against yourself, and then you clinch it. Sum up your emotions after this.
It's really difficult. We had a hard match. He could win, I could win. I take it in the end, so I'm happy now, but I feel with him.
Tomorrow is going to be Peter Wright, probably against a fan favorite here. Any thoughts on playing the former world champion?
He's #2 in the world, and I think it's clear to see in order of merit how to see where I am, and so I think I can come back more tomorrow, and will do my best. One of the best players in the world, a match play champion and world champion. So yeah, I'm happy to play against him.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a match to kick us off here tonight. A big round of applause to Florian Hempel.